welcome back to Epic Beauty Fail. On today's video, I'm going to be doing a let's test on, this is probably actually a little bit older of a product, but it is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Water Foundation. And I've not tried this before. I think it's maybe about a year old, but I've never tried it before. So I'm going to give it a try today. I am going to be filming one of my two-part videos. Today's video is going to be the testing of this foundation, and the second video we'll post tomorrow, which will be a one brand all Tarte full face. So you'll see the finished product from tomorrow a little bit later in today's video, but at first we're going to start off with this Rainforest of the Sea Water Foundation. So before I do anything else, I am going to use all Tarte products. Like I said, I do have the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Marine Boosting Mist. I'm going to be using this to prime my face. I also have, before I do that actually, I do have the Tarte, this is the Drink of H2O. This is just a sample size. I got a little 4-piece kit that had the spray, the moisturizer, a cleanser, and like an under eye pad. So I'm going to go ahead and get this open. It's just a clear gel. I'm going to put this on my face and moisturize before I start with the priming. My face is clean. I don't know if you can tell, but my hair is a little wet. I actually did just recently get out of the shower. So I'm going to go ahead and moisturize my face. I'm going to try to make sure my under eyes are really included in that moisturized, because one of the things that I had heard was that as long as your under eyes are moisturized, your concealer is less likely to crease. So I'm going to try to make sure that that is very well moisturized. And I think I'm going to have to pull my hair out of my face. I was hoping that it would be cooperative, but it doesn't seem to be wanting to do that. Okay. Okay, now that I am nice and moisturized, I'm going to go ahead and prime my face with the Rainforest of the Sea. This is the Marine Boosting Mist. So this says it can be a primer and a setting spray, so I'm going to use it for both purposes. So I'm going to set it aside for now with my moisturizer. And I'm going to go ahead in with my foundation. So like I said, I'm going to be using the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation today. Shake it up. Okay, so for this foundation, I've seen some other videos on it, and this is actually like a dropper foundation. So you push the top of the bottle and it does drop out. So I'm going to go ahead and stick it back in and fill the dropper up. And then I'm going to put it on the back of my hand. And it is a water foundation, so it is very, very liquidy actually. Extremely liquidy. I'm afraid it's going to go right off the side of my hand. There it is. I'm going to go ahead and use the Sigma Round Kabuki, the F82, and I'm going to put that on this side of my face and then go back with a beauty sponge, which I'm using the L'Oreal Beauty Sponge today, on the right side of my face. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this with a brush. And this was just one squeeze of the lid. And I did get the fairest shade. Seems to be a little bit bright for me, but I have a tendency to have foundations oxidize on my skin. So that's why I went with the lightest shade. We'll see how it does. Alright, so with one squeeze, it is a very sheer foundation, and actually I think I'm going to pull you in a little bit so you can see a little bit better. So you can see it's kind of more of a sheer foundation, or a sheer color. It has definitely balanced out my skin tone. You can see a lot of redness still on this side of my face, and this one's not so much. So I'm not sure if you can build it up. I'm going to give that a try. Again, I'm not a full coverage girl, so I'm not sure that I'm necessarily going to go full coverage, but I'm going to go ahead and get another squeeze of this. And we will do the other side of my face with the L'Oreal sponge. Okay, so it's definitely a sheer foundation. I like the way it's sitting on my skin better with the beauty sponge than with the brush. The one thing I did forget to do, I have this other primer. This is the Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer. I think I might go ahead in with this just in a couple of spots, then go back over with some foundation. So I do have a lot of acne scars on this cheek, so I think I'm going to just get a little bit of that and try to get that into my scars, because I've heard from other people that this stuff really fills in holes. Now it's making my foundation look a hot mess, but I will fix that. I'm just gonna put it over there. I don't know, I kind of like that. I've never used that before, and I kind of like it because it does look like it really filled in my acne scars there, like filled them in. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but right in here, like, the scars are gone. Now my foundation is very much clinging to that spot though, so I don't know. I think I would like a little bit heavier of foundation today. I am going to a friend of mine's wedding reception this evening. She actually got married yesterday, so congratulations, Tracy and Tim. And I'm going to be going to her wedding reception tonight. They decided to have the wedding yesterday and the reception this evening. So I am going to that this evening. So I think I am going to go in with a second layer of this foundation and see how it does building up. So I'm going to go ahead with another pump. And I'm going to see if this third pump can be used to just build up the rest of it. I don't know, guys. I'm kind of really liking this foundation. It feels really lightweight on the skin, which it should. I mean, it's a water-based foundation. It's not super heavy coverage, which again, I don't really like. So, because I always feel like if I get too heavy of a coverage, I look really cakey. It does seem to be buildable, like it's now covering the pink nail on my cheeks. I'm going to watch it throughout the day to see if it oxidizes. I like that primer. It really filled in my acne scars where I put it. I'm going to watch to see if it oxidizes because I might need to get a darker shade actually. This is in the shade Porcelain, so this is the lightest shade of this foundation. But I'm really liking the way it looks on my skin. Really liking the way it looks on my skin. I don't know what you guys think. I think my skin still looks very natural, even though it's still a little bit light. Like I said, I'm expecting it to oxidize because I have used like a Tarte powder foundation before, and that one oxidizes on me. So we'll see how this one goes. And even on my hand, on my hand there, it seems to be getting darker because that foundation's been sitting there a little bit longer. So we'll see how this goes throughout the day. I definitely like the way it sits on my skin. I think my skin still looks like skin, which is very nice. I like the way that it covers with both the brush and the sponge. I think the sponge makes it look a little bit more flawless, just because it can make it into like every little crevice a little bit better. The only place that I really don't like the way it's sitting is right around the bottom of my nose. But my nose shape, that's not always the easiest place to have foundation. So overall, I'm really pleased with this foundation so far. Like, really pleased. So I'm going to go ahead and put on the rest of my makeup, and then I will be back to check in. Right now, with my foundation on, the check-in time is 2:21. So about 2:20. I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of my makeup on, and I will be right back to check in with you. Alright, so I am back with all of my makeup done. It is 3:32. Yes, it took me that long to do my makeup. But overall, I'm actually really liking this foundation a lot. I feel like all of the makeup went on just fine over top of it. I had no problems with anything that I put on my face. None of the powders that I put on. Everything just turned out really nicely. I love the way it's looking on my skin right now. Again, I've only had it on for about an hour, but I really like the way it's looking on my skin, other than the fact that it's just so pale. But we'll see if it does oxidize. Most foundations do, which is why I got the color that I did. But we will see. So far, an hour in, it's not looking too bad. But I do like the way it's sitting on my skin. My husband looked at it. He said that it didn't even look like I had anything on my skin, which is fantastic. So far, an hour in, I'm really liking it. But I will check in probably in about 3 or 4 hours, something like that, and then I'll check in another 3 or 4 hours after that. So far, an hour in, I'm liking it. So I will see you in about 3 or 4 hours. Bye. So I am at my friend's party now, and I'm going to do a quick check-in. It is right about 6:30, and I'm actually liking the way it's still looking. I'm really starting to sweat because we're outside, and I feel a little. That actually feels pretty dry, even though it feels heavy, but my lipstick's of course gone, but my foundation, I think, it's actually still looking pretty good. So 4 hours in, I'm still very pleased with it. I don't feel too hot, I don't feel like it's too heavy, and I'm still very pleased with it. So I will check in probably another 3 hours, maybe 4. We'll see. So see you soon. All right, so the time is now 9:07, and so it's been about 7 hours, a little under 7 hours. I did just retouch my lips with my lipstick because it was totally worn off. But I ate dinner. Like I went to my friend's wedding reception, and I ate food, and we were outside, and it was hot, and I was sweating. So this foundation had to go through a lot today. I'm actually still sweating right now. I just got home. My beauty room that I film in has its own air conditioning unit, so if you hear some air blowing, it's because the air conditioning unit just in this room is running right now. So it's a little warm in here still. It's like 80 something degrees. I literally just pulled off my eyelashes because they were driving me insane. The one actually came loose and was like, if you wear eyelashes, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, the foundation. I'm going to zoom you in so you can see the things that I'm going to be starting talking about. So I'm going to zoom you in. So hopefully you can see that I'm very shiny because, like I said, I've been sweating for pretty much the last like 4 hours. And as it got hotter this evening, the humidity really kicked up. I'm in Central PA, and it gets very humid here. So the humidity really started to kick up, which is why my hair is pretty frizzy right now. But overall, I mean, I spent like 4 or 5 hours outside this evening, and I was sweating, and I think this foundation held up really, really well. I mean, it felt lightweight. I had a couple of itchy spots, but for the most part, it's been really, really well. I am very shiny, but that's not the foundation's fault. That's because it's 92 degrees outside right now in Central PA. And overall, it still feels really nice. I mean, like I said, it's definitely oily up here. It's oily on my cheeks. It's oily on my chin. I actually have lost most of the foundation on my chin because I was doing one of these things at the party that I was at. It did cake up around my nose here, but again, you know, I wouldn't expect anything less than that. Overall, I was really impressed with this. Now, down here on my chin, but like I have, you know, moisture here. I sweat in the summer. I don't know about you, but I sweat in the summer. So overall, I'm pleased with this foundation. I'm really impressed that it didn't oxidize on my skin when most foundations do. So that alone really impressed me. It feels lightweight. Doesn't even feel heavy here at the end of the night. I don't have any blotting paper because during the winter I actually have normal skin. I just get real sweaty in the summer. I'm sorry. I get hot and I sweat. Especially with my hair down. That really adds a lot of heat to me. Any of you girls who have long hair or guys who have long hair and you leave it down, you probably understand that. But overall, I think it still looks really, really good 7 hours later. I think if I wore this to work, it wouldn't look quite like this because I wouldn't be as shiny. I would definitely not have been sweating so much. And considering I was sweating 5 out of the 7 hours I had this on, I really think it did a good job. I'm very impressed with this foundation. I will definitely wear this again. So there you have my opinion on this foundation. I know it's been around for over a year, maybe a little over a year, but I really liked it. I really liked it. I will definitely buy this foundation again. I will definitely use it again. So there you have it. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up down below. If you haven't already and you would like to be, please hit that red subscribe button. And if you want to see how I made this makeup look, tune in tomorrow to see that video. So thank you for watching Epic Beauty Fail, and I will see you next time. Bye.